Hello and welcome back to our channel. My name is Francisco and I work for Virtual CNS. We're here again to show you a little bit about Office 365. In this case, we're going to talk about SharePoint. Okay, SharePoint, we talked before in another series of videos. This is pretty much going to be the second version of SharePoint, where we discuss how SharePoint works in a little bit more advanced. Actually, just kind of showing you other things that you can do with SharePoint, because SharePoint in reality is going to be most likely the main application that you're going to be using if you want to be able to be organized in a way that your files are going to be organized the way you want for your team members to collaborate with each other. Typically, what we are seeing and suggesting in reality is that you're going to have, if you have an office and you have a couple of employees, maybe 1, 2, 3, or more than 10, the same thing applies where you're going to be using most likely Outlook mail so that you can actually obviously send emails back and forth because it's actually a very popular application functionality available. Also, a lot of people use Microsoft Teams, for example. So you want to be able to communicate through Microsoft Teams. You want to be able to engage into conversations in a very easy way. So we do have a lot of our clients connecting through Microsoft Teams. But also SharePoint is going to be maybe the third component so that you can actually utilize this for collaboration. You want to be able to document all the information here. Maybe you want to create a structure of folders available so that you can actually have everything on file, documented, be able to be securely available to everybody in the organization. Now, in the previous conversation, we talked about SharePoint and we show you how this works. For example, how you can structure folders, documents here. Obviously, you can create Excel, Word, PowerPoint in a web version format. But in reality, what we're going to explore with a couple of options while I do this is how you can actually interact or interconnect this with other what we call flows and also Power Apps as well with or within the organization. Okay, so let's say, for example, we create a new folder called test. Okay, this is going to be our folder. And within that folder, we're going to have, for example, Excel. So you can have, like I said before, you can have different folders, different files within your structure. So automatically, as you're seeing right now, the files are being created for the first time. And then you're going to be able to see if you refresh this area right here, you're going to be able to see there's those two files available. Okay, so in reality, once you actually have these two files, then obviously you can create whatever structure you're looking to do in your business. Now, one of the things that we talked about, for example, before is how you can actually use Flow. In reality, in one of the previous videos, we were talking about two applications, what we call the Power Automate and also the Power Apps. Okay, in here we do have different links on the top, as you guys can see here. So, for example, this section right here is obviously to create the files and be able to create different type of content. The second one is actually uploads. For example, you can upload content into this section right here from your computer if necessary. You can actually be able to edit this all the way through a web version of the files available here in this section. And then you have obviously a way to share the information to your teams as well. So you have different functionality to be able to do that. This section right here, before we go into the last one, which is the flow, this sync is actually very important. What this allows you to do is to actually be able to manage your applications using your computer. For example, what you're seeing right now is all a web-based version. So for example, you go here and you're able to utilize the applications without really downloading applications to your computer. Say, for example, in my computer, I don't have Excel or Word document installed. You're still going to be able to edit the files, view and edit the files in Excel and Word document without no problem. But if you really want to install the application and you want to be able to save the application, the Excel, using your computer and be able to use a folder within your computer, you can do that. That's what the sync is for. When you click on this and you configure this, this is suggesting to open Microsoft OneDrive. What this means once it is installed is that you're going to have the application locally in your computer and you're going to be able to use that to be able to edit it in a much easier way. It really depends up to the user. Some users prefer the web version, some users prefer to have everything installed in their computers. That's really a personal option. So that's what this section is for. Well, obviously, we're not going to do it right now. The next is obviously the downloads. You're able to download this to computer. And then you have these 2 or 3 links here, obviously to export to Excel. But these ones here, the last two, the flow, is the one that I'm most interested to do right now, for example. What you can do here is create a flow. And then here, if we go to the right side, it looks very similar to what we did in the other video where we discussed options. But it's also from here that you can do. So right now, Microsoft is kind of giving you some options right away from the ones that you're able to do from Microsoft SharePoint. So if you remember, if you saw the video from the other about flows, about the flow process, you have a lot of options available depending on the application that you're using. In this one, we have pre-configured applications when you're using SharePoint. For example, if you go here, you can actually send a customized email when a new file is added. Okay, so again, these are particular tools, particular events that you can configure with, so that, say for example, if somebody adds or edits a section in this section here in the SharePoint, you can actually send an email to somebody saying, "Hey, we just modified this file. Check it out." Okay. Another one, obviously, request manager approvals. This is actually very popular out there. So, for example, if you have a process in place where you have a team of 3 people right now, and one of them maybe is the manager, and you want to be able to approve all the files that go out of the business, out of the office to maybe a client, but you need approval from your manager, you can use this. You click on that one, and then you select the files that you want to approve and send it out to them. You cannot send the file, you cannot process the file unless you ask for approvals. And then the manager goes in there and clicks OK, clicks approve, and then that file is ready to go. And then you can take that file if you want to, or if you need to, and share that with whoever you need to share. Again, these are examples, okay? Again, get signature for a selected SharePoint. That's also sometimes very useful. You can actually add a task out of a file to your Outlook. You can also do that. You can also post a message to Yammer, or Yammer being the social application available. Depending on the particular file, you can actually move a file and then copy that into Yammer as well. So again, these are different flows that you can actually implement. So let's click on that, on this one here, to see what we see right now. And again, this takes us to the flow area, okay? But again, it's a shortcut in reality. It's gonna take you to the same place, but now you have more or less everything pre-configured for you to, once you configure and click OK, then you are ready to go, okay? So that's what I wanted to talk about. Now we're talking about integrating applications with applications. Obviously, as you move along, you're gonna start requesting or maybe having a lot of different things that you can do. And then, of course, as you move along, you're going to make decisions. And then depending on those decisions and those requirements, you're going to get into more complexity depending on what you want. Obviously, throughout the process, we're going to be able to help you. For example, a company like us, where we actually can assist you to make sure that this is properly configured. Or maybe if you want to do some advanced configurations, obviously, we'll take you step by step to do that process. So this is pretty much what we wanted to show you. If you have any questions, you can send us an email to info@virtualcns.com, and we'll be happy to help you. And also, if you like the video, obviously try to subscribe, as we're going to continue to post a lot of nice content that's going to help your business, your organization, to become more efficient. Thanks again.